This is Fire Prevention Week, and it's really important that you and your family have a plan just in case. Andy Little is the Public Information Officer with the Tulsa Fire Department. He joins us this morning to talk a little bit about what you guys are doing this week specifically to highlight this important cause. Great to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks for having us.
You bet. So this is an important thing. I mean, I think a lot of people, fire is one of those things you just don't mess with. And having a plan, thinking about it in advance, you don't want to be caught off guard.
Absolutely. This is such an important topic, and we often don't think about these things because we're busy with work or bills or whatever, but it's so important. And these fire accidents in homes and these burns that we may receive or our children receive are just something that you can't take back.
Right. Once it happens, for sure. So you guys are focusing this year really on the kitchen. Talk to us about that.
So this year's National Fire Prevention theme is Cooking Safety Starts With You. Pay attention to fire prevention. And in preparation for this week, we spoke with our friends at the burn unit, Alexander Burn Unit. We spoke with our friends at the burn camp and really just tried to talk about some of the injuries that they're seeing in children. And one of the common things that we're seeing is scald injuries and burns from like microwaved foods, which is not something traditionally I think people think about.
Sure.
The dangers, but we have these young people that are making ramen noodles and macaroni and boiling water, and those injuries can be very severe.
So it's important to have a conversation with your child to talk about the dangers in the kitchen, specifically then what to do if you are in a situation. We've got some video. I think one of the things that, it's happened to me before when, all of a sudden, what should you do if a pan catches fire?
So in this scenario, it's a great example. She's got an oven mitt there to keep her hands safe. She has the lid. So if you're cooking on the stovetop, frying, broiling, any of those things, it's a good idea to have an oven mitt and to have that lid ready to go so that if there is a fire, you can cover it. Another thing we suggest is having a cookie sheet because it's bigger.
Right.
So you can actually stay further away from the fire and still smother it. Put it on top of that pan. We've talked about this before the segment started about fire extinguishers, and while it is okay to utilize that in your home for small fires, we don't want citizens to go into firefighting mode, and injure themselves. So if they think it's a significant fire, just get out of the house, call 911. Of course, turn off the power on those on the stove or whatever you're using first. And if it's in the oven or the microwave, we always say don't peek, don't open it and look, because that allows it to grow larger. Keep that thing shut and get out of the house.
Right. Okay. Another thing I saw, I thought this video was really important. These conversations with kids can be, vital, because if they're afraid of what they don't know. Have conversations. Talk a little bit about what's in the kitchen, and then let them participate. Have kind of a kid-free area. Measure out that 3 feet or so away so that they're not, handles on pans, boiling water, all that stuff is just accessible, and little hands are reaching up.
Well, they're curious. The little ones are always exploring and naturally trying to check out everything in the room. So one thing we suggest doing is getting a tape measure and pulling it out to 3 feet and showing them how far away from the stove that is, and letting them know this is not an area to play. Just like we say, lighters and matches are not toys, they're tools. This is a tool for mom or dad or whoever adult is. And we also suggest the adults to turn those handles away from the front of the stove, because those little hands grab them and pull them down, and again, that scald injury can be very serious and get them in the burn unit for multiple.
Overall, having a plan with your house wherever you are in terms of what's kind of the basic standards of what people need to have those conversations with their families, like if I'm upstairs and the kids are downstairs, or vice versa.
So this week actually we're going out to schools and talking to kids about this, and the first thing we tell them is that if there's smoke in their home, they need to get low and they need to go. We know that the hot fire and smoke goes up, so the lower to the ground they are, the safer they are. We need them to talk to their children about ways to get out of the house. They need to have 2 ways out. They need to know whether that's a front door or back door, whether that's a window, the dog door, whatever it is. They need to understand where they can get out of that home safely, and understand that all of their belongings and their toys, they're not important.
Right.
What's important?
We can get that back.
Yeah, mom, dad, the kid, that's what's important. And we need to have a meeting place outside, a safe place, not in the street, because we have fire trucks coming. We need a safe place that they can meet. So when those fire crews do arrive, we know who is out of the house and who we need to go look for.
Right.
But the important thing is, make sure they know how to get out. and make sure they have smoke detectors. You know, operational smoke detectors save lives, absolutely. A lot of these burn injuries in cooking fires, they have smoke detectors even. So even with a smoke detector, you can still be injured. But without one, if you're not in the room, you're not attending those fires like you should be, it could be a potential for disaster.
Let me just run through the quick list here, checklist just to keep in mind if you are having, when it comes to cooking safety, you know, cook with caution, get that kids-free zone. If it's a pan fire, smother those flames. If you don't think you can manage it, get out of the house. When in doubt, you know, get out. And be sure to call 911 and get those fire crews there as quick as possible. Great to see you. We'll post a link at our website at newson6.com of the remaining places you guys are going to be throughout the week. It's also a good time to check those batteries in the smoke detector. And
come out, like I said, today we're going to be at Supermercado Morelos. Thursday we're going to be at Oasis. Racers tomorrow, I think. We've got our big mascot out there so the kids can come and learn about fire safety and have some fun.
Great to see you, Andy. Thank you for your time.